chemistry. I go by the name of Miles over there is
Marcel Samuel Williams.
Okay, why you say it so fast?
Because that's who I am.
All right, I'm glad he knows. And today's goddamn special guest, man. Is Duka!
Let me just slide this over and get you right. Whenever he...
Man, I feel so bad. Hold on, no. I gotta do that again. Hold on.
Again?
Man. Yeah, hold on.
Pretty good. We good.
No, man. Hold on.
Were you okay with it? You were happy, right?
Yeah. I was fine with it.
Mm-hmm. He is such a big fan. I don't even know if you know this or not.
I'm sorry,
That
man.
first one was better. The second one was trash. You could have kept that. Told you. Tried to warn you.
So sorry, man.
Edit it out.
I feel like, I could have came with better pipes, man, for you, but it didn't work, man. Whatever, man. Duka here, man.
Yes.
Hey, how you feeling, brother?
I feel great. I feel good.
You feel good?
Yeah, how you
I'm
feeling?
glad. I'm excited as fuck. It took a couple times to reschedule. We pushed the time back, but I needed this to happen, man. I really did. I have been a huge fucking fan since 2020, man.
Really?
Honest to God, man. You know Sarah Germa in the Brooklyn video?
Yeah.
Yes, that's how I discovered you. She posted that clip.
Yeah, there's the homie.
Yeah, Sarah's definitely the homie, man. But I don't know about them. They
She's
got
a good
their
person.
own little beef.
Sarah,
He didn't remember her. Whatever. But yeah, she posted that clip of Broken, the music video, and then I love the fucking song, and I kept up with you since, too. And then fucking 2022, you just started dropping bombs on niggas, man.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, yo, this guy's actually fucking dope.
Thank you.
Man, so if you don't know, he's an artist, he's a singer out here in the great city of Atlanta, man. So let's get into your shit, man. How did you start? What made you want to start singing?
Oh man, I started pretty relatively late for I guess as far as music journeys go. I started singing probably when I was 16, 17, the summer before my senior year of high school. I don't know, I just started singing with songs that were playing, and I realized I started to hear can we cuss on here?
Fucking right.
Okay, I was like, oh
man,
shit, I could kind of sing, and then I would just practice the same thing over and over again and just hear it. And
that's a cocky moment.
But it just sounded good.
Nobody else told you. You told you, right?
You told yourself.
I guess that's what I was blessed with with an ear, and then I heard myself do it.
So even cockier moment. You had to tell yourself, oh man, I think I sound good. You know what? I have an ear
for me.
For me. I did.
The shit. All right. I'm going to do this.
No, but so I started singing, and I didn't really sing out loud to anybody. I just kind of kept it to myself, and then I think I just got the courage to do it when I was in youth choir the summer before college, and then I started singing more out loud, and when I got to college I was singing a little bit even more, and then I met a friend, one of my best friends to this day, named John, and he was a guitarist, or he is a guitarist still, just very, very talented musician. He heard me sing, he was like, let's go write a song, and I was like, I'd never written a song before, really, and I was just like, okay, and we did, and then I just haven't stopped since then.
Wow. Yeah. Really? It sounds like kind of just it fell upon you then, man. You kind of just felt like, with you starting it so late, how do you look at music? Do you think you have a passion for it? Is it?
Yeah, it's a big passion. I think that there was always an appreciation for music. My mom was always playing Michael Jackson since before I can remember, and I was born in Maryland originally, and then I moved to Smyrna when I was 12. But in Maryland, there was a radio station called 97.1. It was soft rock, and I'm Nigerian, so my parents weren't playing rap and things like that. They were just playing soft rock on the way to school, and so I grew up listening to a lot of just very kind of pop and things like that.
Avril Lavigne?
Not Avril Lavigne, just old Lionel Richie. Gloria Estefan, Celine Dion types of things. I was a very melody-driven person for since I was little, and I didn't necessarily know how to identify it. It was just very much ingrained in me, just from the music that would play. And so it's definitely, when I figured out that I could do it too, it just became, it developed into a much bigger passion, especially being able to create something that I liked and being able to do it my way.
Yeah, okay. So what year is that when you first started writing? When
I first started writing, I was probably writing music, I was like 17. It was 2008.
Whoa.
Damn. Okay, well, not even that. I'm thinking about, I guess, the songs that you put out and stuff. So what would you say would be your first song that you put on streaming services?
On streaming services, it's probably a song called "All Right." That's probably, but that's not the first song. Like, oh no, I put songs on SoundCloud back in like 2015, 2016. So maybe a song called "Lollipop." I can't remember, but I would always put songs, even when I was like 20, I would put things on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So Facebook, I would record things. I had like a really cheap ass Walmart microphone that was like sticks, and that sounded like shit, but I would record like on Audacity and just put, I would put like the whatever beat or whatever, and then record a song, and I'd put that onto Facebook, and that's like, it was very early with that, and I don't remember what you asked me. I
what was the first song you had on streaming?
Oh yeah, that.
But so how would you put it on Facebook? Like as an audio file?
Facebook. So like first would be my friend John. He would we'd write songs together. That was like my origin, writing songs to him playing guitar. So we would record ourselves and put it on Facebook for our friends to watch in school, because we were in college together and we had a lot of time to do that. Mm-hmm. So I did the same thing when I started recording like by myself. I would just put it on my Facebook and just tag people in it and let people listen to it.
Well, I'm still saying, like, how are you able to upload just an audio file, or
videos? There were videos.
Oh, okay,
so I would make a video out of like I would put a picture like
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. And then post it. So what was the type of response you were getting from? Were you never scared, or you never like nervous of putting your art out there to people?
I think I can't remember. I remember the first time I ever performed, I was terrified, but like, and this was like before I started posting my music. I think I was more so excited to do it. Like I wasn't. I think I was excited to put it out.
'Cause you the shit.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah. I was. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
But I was.
Oh, you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was your mindset. I'm
just feeling myself.
That's clear. See,
too much, right?
Clearly.
I just assumed the compliment.
That's
thank you, sir.
No,
anyway,
you are though.
No. No, I appreciate it. But yeah, it wasn't even like that I'm the shit. It was just like, this sounds cool. And I liked performing. I liked that attention of like putting something out and like getting feedback. So there was never any, I don't think, apprehension to put it out.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting the.
What? Hey man.
Most artists, you get a little
into that.
nervous. Man, I'm putting songs out here. Oh my gosh,
you was excited.
For you, it was like, I know they're gonna love it. The fuck, world. But that's very dope. That's a very rare confidence you come across in this industry, to just have that. The ability to just be like, hey, fuck it, whatever, here it is, this is what it is, either you're gonna like it or you're not, but I know you're gonna fucking like it.
You ain't heard this before.
You ain't heard that. Okay, so when you leave college, this is, like, we should all know, this is when life hits you in the face, you know what I'm saying? This is when you gotta start paying bills, this is when responsibilities happen and stuff. So does that affect how you go about doing music?
No, because I didn't really even decide I wanted to pursue music like that until I left college. It was always like a thing that I was teetering on, but I never really said it out loud, just because it's a big leap to do something like that. It's a big commitment.
It is.
And after I left college, I just came back home and I was working. And then when I just happened to, I was in a relationship throughout college, and then it ended like right after. It ended right after college, like a year after. And then, when you have kind of like a plan for your life and you see that it's going to go a certain way and then it doesn't, the slate gets wiped clean.
Said every nigga ever.
Yeah, and so like, I was like, wow, I had a plan. That was kind of one of my first experiences of that. So it was like, okay, so things aren't necessarily going to go how I think they are. I should just do better by myself by just taking experiences and saying yes. And so I was very much in the mindset of that, like back in that time. And then I remember going to a party on Edgewood, at like around at department stores, like a block party thing my cousin was at, and I went with some friends, and I happened to be at a department store, and I was waiting in line for the bathroom, and some guy was just like, I don't know, I was drunk, so I was talking, and then he started telling me about the shows that they did every Tuesday, and he said, yeah, you should come. So I thought about it, and I was like, that was back then. I was like, Tuesday, like I gotta go to work on Tuesday. That's crazy. That's preposterous. Why isn't it on the weekend? But then my mind was just like, you know what? Just say yes. So I went after work one day, and I was mesmerized. Like you could literally feel the floor moving underneath you when people were jumping. Now, in hindsight, that was just poor building code, and that shouldn't have been the case. But it was really like it was like amazing. Like. And those Tuesdays at department store just became an iconic thing, and I loved performing there. And so when I did that kind of like gave me a path. I was like, oh, I can do this. Like there's kind of a template for me to pursue this for real. And that's when I decided to actually pursue it. So there wasn't any like even in college there wasn't a for sure thing. I just decided after and just.
So that moment, the Tuesdays at department stores, that's when you were like, okay, let me actually put my energy into this and actually give it a shot.
Yeah, I was like, let me, like, I see like a real path to doing this. Let me actually like give it a real shot and pursue it and like say it out loud that this is what I'm gonna.
What year was that?
Oh, 2015.
And how did your life change after that? Like what did you start doing differently? Now that you've made your mind up, like what'd you start doing differently?
I think that I just really I let it engulf me. I just kind of really put my head down and started taking singing lessons, which I'd never done before.
Humbled yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
I started going to like, I started producing shortly after that, just because learning to mix and things like that and engineer my own music was very expensive. And I didn't have the money to do that. Like, so I was like, I might as well learn, like go to YouTube University. I just really like honed in on every aspect of this craft. I'm a very like, self-sufficient person. I like to learn how to do things and do things myself. And so that's what I really honed in on, is just producing it, getting my writing better, performing religiously, and just honing this thing so that I can be ready when I'm called to do it.
Duly noted. Okay, so what I'm curious. So I'm trying to get to my experiences with you. So 2015 to 2020, we got a 5-year gap here. So in this time, what is your journey like? Like what is going through Duka's head as far as like how can I be successful? I understand you're starting to hone in on your craft and starting to learn these different types of things and whatnot. But even after you learn the craft, it's still getting the craft out there and promoting it and getting it out to the people. How are we going about doing that?
A big thing was just performing like crazy around the city.
Where'd you perform?
I performed every Tuesday at department store until they kind of shut that down. I performed at East Atlanta Village. They had a Union. If you've ever been there, they used to have thing they would do weekly there. I started performing, like trying to do bigger shows as well. Like toward like the 2019 was a year where I really tried to like do. I did Sneaker Ball ATL in 2019 before like the pandemic and stuff like that. I was supposed to go to Australia one time before. I was trying to. It was just a gradual kind of like thing of me performing in smaller spaces to bigger ones and trying to get my name out there.
Were you putting out music?
I was definitely not as frequently as I was last year. I was putting out music here and there and trying to like write for people. I was part of a collective. I'm still part of a collective called Free Air, Free Water with my homie Jay Austin and Dope Diana, and we were just very much creating. I don't know. It's kind of it feels like kind of a blur now to think back in that time space.
Jay Austin. I'm sorry. I know who has he done stuff before?
Jay Austin.
Yeah. Is his name Jay Austin, or is it like what's his? The J stand for something?
It stands for John, I think.
That did not help.
Jay Austin is from North Carolina. He performed a lot around the city too. He lives in LA now though.
Okay.
But,
I don't think it's the person I'm thinking of. But okay.
You made it the whole thing.
I'm sorry. It's an artist, well, a writer like Jonta Austin. Do you know who that is?
Oh no.
Oh well, he wrote or writes for like a bunch of big artists. Cool. So when you said Jay Austin, it made me think about him. Yeah. Okay, so you're in a collective with him?
Yes. So in that time, just did a lot of performing. We did like I had a friend named Ree Ill, great hardworking performer. He was like he had crazy drive, so he would take us to like we went to Texas and we went to like Savannah and we performed in the street, things like that. We went to South by Southwest, and our idea was to like get a generator and have a PA machine and just perform because we didn't have actual booked shows
at South by.
Yeah, South by. So we did that on the street and brought people to us, and like it got so that was like I think this is probably like 2017 that we did this, and it was so like no one was doing it but us because I didn't see it there. That was my first time there, but I didn't see anyone else doing it but us. And the crowds we would get would be like huge, and it got to the point by the end of our time there, they stopped letting us do it. They like started calling the police. The people inside were calling the police because people weren't coming into their shops anymore. They were like standing outside watching us. Bastards. And I remember like the next year, we went, and then everybody had like their PA systems and was performing on the street. So it was like
you onto something.
Year by year, it was just us trying to get bigger and just think of new ways to get better, but also attracting that attention and just putting that footwork in just to garner more fans.
So from I'm thinking, yeah. Okay, so from your Spotify, it was like a big gap from, I guess not a big gap, but I guess going from 2019 to 2020. Was Broken like your first time? Was Broken your first music video?
No, I had a music video called. I dropped a mixtape in 2016, and so I had a music video for that. That was the first time I actually met Sarah because I casted her in that music.
In 2016?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yes, 2016.
Okay, well let's get to fucking Broken. So what was the idea behind Broken? I mean like concept and everything.
Yeah, Broken. I was just gotten a new computer and I was messing around with this new Omnisphere, this new program I had, and I just found this guitar and I thought it sounded beautiful, so I started like messing around with it. And then I don't know. When my process for writing music, it can come with lyrics first or then music, but usually it's music first. So I started doing that, and then I would mumble and find melodies, and so I did that. And I was writing it. When was it? I think it was like June 18th, 2020. And I was writing, and I started to write about my father. And it just felt very different. It felt honest. It was one of those songs that I could feel myself. I was writing it kind of quickly just because of the words felt like they were coming to me.
Why were you talking about your father? Why were you writing about your father?
Yeah.
I was writing about my father because my father, he's growing up, he was very sick. Yeah, so he like just didn't have very good health. It started pretty much when I was like 13, like when we first moved to Georgia. Well, when it got really bad, not when it started, but like he had a stroke, and then throughout from there to like when I was like 19, he'd had several other strokes and just kind of became very debilitated, and to the point where he couldn't talk or he had dementia, didn't really know who we were. My mother was his primary caregiver, but also went to work and just, so, I mean, as a child from like being 12, 13, all the way to 19, you don't really like understand all I could think of was that this person didn't take care of themselves well enough to be around for me and my sister. So there was a heavy resentment for a long time with my father. And in that time that I was writing that, I think I was trying to find some sort of forgiveness and understanding, because he's human at the end of the day, and I'm sure he didn't choose to be sick and choose to not be around. I'm sure like anyone else, when you're trying to do something, some people fall short, and maybe he could have been on the brink of next year I'm going to get myself together, but didn't have that choice because it already happened. So I think of those things as I get older, but when I was younger, that wasn't my thought process. So there was a lot of resentment and sorry.
My bad, I didn't mean to cut. But so you were thinking about that while you were writing Broken?
Well, at that time, I was just trying to be better. I was trying to give him more slack, and so I was writing about him because even talking about like him now like is just a sign of growth. When I was younger, I didn't talk about him at all. Mm-hmm. People didn't really know about him. People didn't know my struggles and the anger that I had, and so like me addressing him in a song was more so just like a growth. And I wrote that song, and I planned on. It's a very short song. I planned on extending it, and then 3 days after I wrote it, he passed away. And so, I don't know. It was just like it wasn't fully about him. I addressed him, and it was like he was.
What lyrics are about him?
Far and away. Papa, where I probably get the fear. Nigga taught me how to ride a bike and disappeared. Because I remember that was like one of the few memories I had of him was him teaching me how to ride a bike. And, after it was like, shortly after that, I don't remember much about like him being there and not being sick. So that was just kind of like this quintessential thing that people get with their parents sometimes. Like, parents teach you how to ride a bike, but then it was like, I got this thing, and then it was taken away. So it was kind of just like me saying like, this is why I'm broken. This is why I'm not able to be someone in a relationship, because I have issues, and I also am able to dip because I was dipped on. And so it was me addressing like a source for how I'm acting. Well, just a culmination of thoughts in my head of why I'm broken and why unfortunately I've broken someone else.
Hey.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I would not have guessed any of that from that song, man. I mean, genuinely, like I'm a little taken back by what I've just heard, because even I'm thinking of, that's why I asked the lyrics, like what was like about him, because so essentially the song is though about you, and because listening to it, I'm thinking of just relationship stuff. So you're pulling from not just relationship stuff, but just other experiences, I guess, that you've been dealing with that makes you quote unquote broken.
Yeah, it's just like the relationship thing is more so like, I guess, a symptom of something else. So I just try to be very honest with myself in general. And that translates to me trying to be honest in my music and giving explanation for why I may be doing something. Like, it's one thing to do it, and it's another thing to explain maybe why I'm doing it. Like, like I'm not going to hide from the fact that I'm doing like fuck nigga shit. I am a fuck nigga. I have those tendencies. Maybe I may not just be like a bad person, but I'm not, you may have looked at me as the nice guy before, but I'm not immune to this behavior that's typical of men in relationships, of running, of being scared, of commitment. Because I even used to think I was just like the nice guy, and then like I think just got more experience and was just like, oh, I'm not. Like I mean I am, but I'm not immune. I'm not susceptible to these things. Yeah, I mean that is the question I want to ask. Dang. You a fuckboy, like, because a lot of these songs, my nigga, you popping a lot of shit as far as you claiming yourself being a fuckboy, like, like it is what it is, I'm a fuck nigga, and it's like, damn, this nigga is a fuckboy. It just seems, I think it's my bad. That and it seems like, on the opposite end, it seems like you've been done wrong a lot, in these songs. Like one of my favorite song by yours is "My Place." So you didn't let another nigga take my place. It's like that's a crucial line, right there. That's a you bitch. You don't let another nigga take my place. So it's like in a lot of the songs I hear from you is I'm a fuck boy, but also fuck you bitches because you didn't let another nigga take my place. Yeah, I think it's just that you agree. Okay. Yeah. I mean, people get people fuck over people. People get fucked over. I'm not going to stand exactly. I'm not going to stand on one side and just act like a victim. I'm also not going to stand on one side and act like I'm just doing people wrong all the time. And even when I do people wrong, even in music, I'll be like, oh shit, like my song "Toxic" was like, oh, I didn't know I was toxic.
Well, you could tell by the other songs you put out before that.
Yeah,
I like this guy.
Like I didn't know this was who I was until quite honestly, until I started getting more attention from women. Because I think
that'll bring a lot out of you.
Yeah,
boy,
you learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah, when you have more options, and
you say that a lot.
That's what it says.
Come on now.
When you have more options, you're like, oh, and yeah, no one knows really what they would do until they're in that position.
Thank you. I mean, yeah.
What? And so,
yeah, I feel you.
And so that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm just trying to be honest with myself. I'm not a perfect person. I know who I aspire to be, who I try to be, and who I want to be. But I'm not. I have natural tendencies that we may try to hold back or try to control. But things are going to come out. We're not perfect, and we're growing.
Nah, I mean, absolutely. I don't disagree with you. I guess I was just taken back by a lot of things that I heard, which I mean, I related to a lot of them. Yeah. I guess I had Broken for so long, and I had a perspective of you like just from Broken. So then when you started dropping all of these songs, I'm like, what? Indecisive.
Broken's not far off.
I don't want to love you.
It's not far off from it. With the lyrics from Broken.
I guess and even from the music video, it seems more, lovey-dovey rather than.
No, the music video was toxic too, because it was like the premise was, I'm coming to this place where I left you, like it's kind of like having someone in your back pocket. So she
I guess
lives,
I didn't look at it like that.
I
get it now.
There. Yeah, I'm the one walking up. And then she's there, and she's happy to see me. I'm happy to see her. We spend the day together. She asks if she can come back with me, and I'm like, not this time. And I leave her there.
Yeah, I just thought it was because, I'm working on myself. I'm getting right.
I mean, yes, all that's just
goodness. I feel
like you was going to do the same thing you just did with her to somebody else.
All that's true, though. All of it is like, I do need to grow. I do, but it's presented in it's also under the umbrella, or just it's behind a veil, because I do have other intentions. Maybe I'm just not ready to commit. I do need to grow. Those things aren't mutually exclusive. They're all true, but they're bundled all in this kind of like fuck nigga answer. You know what I mean?
God, yeah, I do. You answered one of my questions I had earlier. So you produce, like you produce all of these songs?
Majority, yeah.
That's nuts, man.
Nuts.
Like genuinely, like this is some really good.
Trying to hold it back.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
No,
Yeah,
motherfucker. I know it is. Go ahead, keep saying it. Not dead ass, but like it's genuinely some good.
That's really good, man.
Production, like on here. Not even just with the writing and stuff. Like this is what fucked me up. Like when. I think I didn't discover maybe until like I realized he was dropping all these fucking songs last year, like maybe May or April or whatever. So you had dropped a bunch. So I'm listening to My Place, Indecisive, I Don't Wanna Love You. By the time I got to Limbo, I was like, fuck, I'm expecting a bad song to come up. Like I'm expecting like, fuck man, the nigga, like give me one where I want to press skip, and I couldn't skip none of them. So it got to a point where I was just like, I'm just gonna skip it anyway. Like I started. I know what you mean. I started to get mad. I was like, oh, this is good too. Whatever, nigga. Let me just go to another one and just get to a different one. But it's. And I genuinely don't say this shit often, bro. I'm very picky and I'm very much hard to please, bro. But you are somebody who. You haven't missed. Even like going when I was on my way here, like doing doing my research and listening to all of these songs. I'm like, bro, it don't even with Maya. When I first heard Maya, I loved the instrumental, but because of the subject matter, I'm like, this isn't a song like I would listen to over and over. But I listened to it again, like on the way here, I'm like, yo, this shit is fire. Like, yes, I will listen to this like over and over, bro. But I think it's like it got to me. So it's two artists that I've done this with: Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake. I feel like them niggas just make great songs. Like them niggas make fucking dope ass music, and whenever they drop an album, I won't. I don't know if it's like, geez, am I a hater? Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like I won't listen to all the songs because I'm like, oh, they're just too good. And it's like, I don't want to listen to, like, I don't want to take the whole album and listen to it. Like, I just want to choose one or two or three songs.
What?
I don't know why I don't like that, but I got that same feeling.
No, I mean, I don't know how to articulate it, but I get what you mean. Because I'm the same. I love Beyonce, but I didn't fully listen to her album yet. I think it's more so like I'm waiting to listen to it all. Like even I don't have to do it in one sitting. And like I said, I don't fully know how to articulate it. It's almost maybe too much of a good thing.
It's too much. There it is. It's too much goodness at one time. It was too much, and the fact that, you know, I wasn't listening to these like as you were dropping them. So it's like if you drop, I missed 3 songs and I got to go back and listen to all 3 songs. I'm just expecting maybe one to be good, but it's like it's too good. Like it's too much fucking. Even now when I'm listening to them, like on the way here, I'm like, like, do I want to add this to my library? Like, fuck, it is dope, but it's like, oh man, like it's just, I don't know. You just don't. I don't know what it is about that, but you just don't want like too much goodness at one time. So just going through these songs. Like I said, My Place is probably my favorite song of yours. Indecisive. Now that's where I saw maybe this nigga a little fucked up. You know, maybe he is a little.
That's Sarah, by the way, on the cover.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. Oh, that is her tattoo. Oh, it's not. I never freaking noticed that. Yeah. So the line is what is it? She's fuck. I might just have to fucking just play it real quick.
Go for it.
She said this. It's one and the same. She said I'm indecisive. She said I'm a fuckboy, but it's one and the same. So are these situations coming from like real life with you?
It's yes, yeah, definitely like experiences. Like they may not be verbatim. Some of them are just like taken from maybe like an occurrence and then I embellish upon it or like extrapolate it. But like that is like I wrote that song because I was feeling I had just like gotten with the girl and she started asking me like, because I had been talking to her for a little bit. We ended up like sleeping together and then she started talking to me about like a relationship and I just felt myself kind of being like, like, do I want that? And then I started feeling guilty, like, damn, did I lead her on? And I felt myself like I knew I was an indecisive person and I expressed that to her and she was just like, you know, either you want this or you don't. Like men, my brother told me like men go for what they like and I was like, oh my God, like let me think for a second. But like it was just me having to explore myself. I was like, damn, am I indecisive? Like I know, am I a fuckboy? Like, am I, like, actually, like, mean? Am I, like, I'm not meaning to be. I just thought, like, I'm indecisive. I'm not, I want to make a choice, and I want to do the right thing, but I don't know what I want. And I was like, okay, this can be interpreted as, like, just fuckboy behavior. Maybe that's all a fuckboy is someone who's not willing to make a decision. And so, and not someone who's, like, malicious. So that's where it came from, like, a very real, like, shit. I don't want to hurt somebody.
Man, hell no, fuck them. What the hell? That's not no fuck boy. Maybe I'm just confused right now, man. That doesn't make me a fuck boy.
Unless you do it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's different than one off, you know?
Yeah.
What conclusion did you come to?
I mean,
the
conclusion was we ended up dating, but in hindsight, it wasn't the best decision. Oh. Just because.
Oh, that's nice.
I think I made that decision. I convinced myself that it was like the right thing to do, and I'm just gonna go for a change, and maybe this will turn out great. But just from the beginning, I should have trusted my intuition and known that it probably wasn't like the best suit for me because I ended up hurting this person in the long run anyway.
How'd you hurt her?
Is it in the song?
Breaking up with her.
Is it in one of these songs?
No. That's an upcoming song. I started writing, yeah. But I just ended up hurting this person because I was trying to prove to myself that I wasn't a fuckboy and was the good guy. And
I feel you.
But you ended up being the fuckboy.
Kind of.
Honestly, to me, yeah, if you ever contemplate being with a woman to me, you should always go the other way. Cause
it's hard though, because it's hard to determine whether or not you're just repeating tendencies and whether or not you're just afraid. It's hard to determine, like, am I? That's the big thing. Am I really like not wanting to be in this, or am I just like running away again? Am I hiding from something? And so you have to decipher what that means. Like, because you could think, oh, I'm going to meet the right person and everything's going to feel great, but that could also just be a fairy tale type of thing.
It could be.
And you have to actually choose.
A lot of people live in fairy tales.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they
It's
do.
hard to determine.
So what about I Don't Want to Love You? What was this about? What gave you this inspiration?
That was just, I think, yeah. I don't know. That was just a feeling, and that's
So,
one of those
okay,
songs
so-
that wasn't necessarily about a person. It was just
Okay.
Yeah.
So because this, I've always wondered this about like writers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, are you able to just write? Maybe not coming from personal experiences, but you're able to just literally write a song that has shit to do with you personally. You're just able to write it.
Yeah, because I write for other people too. So like, I think it's I can draw on a feeling, and go from there, or draw on like an experience and go from there. If I just want to like write about something, maybe this person didn't say this verbatim, but this is how it's like almost. I always look at songs like telling a story or like a movie, or there's characters. When I talk about this song, I'll use like he and she instead of like myself, because I just want to like I'm painting kind of like a scene and what I think this person would do because of this. And so it's like, and then if I'm writing for someone else, obviously I like writing for women too. So I myself have never been in a relationship with a man, but I know how men are, and I know how women talk about men when they're fed up, and so I can like talk in that way. And it's not something that I've experienced myself or something that I've said out loud, but like I can write from that perspective too. So I think it goes different ways. It all is gonna be from me drawing from a feeling though, because even if it's like I've never said these words that a woman would say to a man in a relationship, I've been angry and felt used or felt fed up, and so I can draw from that and then just change the language to match something that would relate to other people.
Yeah, no, that's very dope, and that's
Yes,
to
is.
me that's definitely a testament of a true person who is able to write. Because once again, if you are writing for other people, to not just use your own personal experiences or be able to get in the mind of somebody else and to be able to express that through song, very, very, very fucking dope. Yeah. Double text. So you dropped double text around the time I was going through some shit with a girl, and I related to it so much because I thoroughly agree with it in the sense of I don't see a problem with double texting. All right. A lot of people out here like, oh no, you shouldn't double text somebody. You know what I'm saying?
For somebody that may not know, what is double texting?
Double text is the hook is literally I'd rather die than dilute. Just because like that's how I feel. I've always been that way and never saw any like problem with it. I'm like, if I have a question, I'm gonna ask it. I'm not gonna sit here and be wondering something. But obviously, you can't be overbearing and just keep asking the same question and be like, whatever. But it's a matter of I'm not going to hold back how I feel. And it's very nuanced because obviously you can't be too on somebody because no one likes that. But you also don't need to be too like just kind of like holding back your emotions. It's if I like you, I'm going to tell you I like you. If I texted you already and we had a conversation, I'm going to text you again and be like, hey, we should go do this. I don't need to play this game of like who texted who first.
Waiting and yeah.
I'm not following. So what is double texting then?
Double text is just...
hilarious.
Oh, what is double texting literally?
Like, yeah, my bad.
Literally.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut you off, but yeah, literally. Well, you was going in it. I didn't
Literally.
want to stop you. The definition
literally
of the word,
when
my
you
bad.
text somebody again without them texting you back. So like...
So somebody texts you.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, like it's once again out of the fucking dating game, ass nigga. Yes,
Yes. Hey, I feel sorry for y'all. If that's a topic of discussion, if somebody texts you again, yeah, I thought about you again. What's up?
But now you look thirsty.
Yeah, if
Well, now we don't need to be together. Delete my number with your stupid self. Like, because if that's bothering you, bitch, then we wasn't supposed to be together.
It doesn't bother you.
What the heck?
It doesn't. If the like is mutual, it's never an issue.
Right.
Like
That's
it's
my
absolutely
point,
never an
right.
issue. But if you don't know if the like is mutual yet, then it's always a thing of, damn, should I text this person again? Like,
Yeah, I like you. Like,
Yeah,
you don't know how I feel.
but you don't know if the other person.
Hey, you don't know how I feel. And I know how people that like me text me back. If you ain't texting me back, I'm all right. I won't do that no more then.
That's how I feel too, because it's like, I'm going to be this way, and if this is an issue for you, then let me know now, because I'm going to weed you out that way.
People have cut people off for this?
Yeah.
Yes, like it's definitely a thing. This is why I related to it, because I really like this girl, and I'm big on transparency. Like I don't mind. You fucking didn't stop texting the bitch.
It might be a little much. All right.
I really like this girl, and I'm very transparent. I don't mind like talking about my emotions and stuff, but she didn't. So whenever it was me expressing myself, like I was never getting, and she claimed that, you know what I'm saying, she liked me and stuff, she cared about me, but it was always a thing. So I was always in my head about texting her and then texting her again. Yeah. Or even if it's been like a couple of hours and she hasn't texted me back, like texting her again. Yeah, fuck you, nigga.
I hadn't heard from you. Now that's different. That's different. Is that what we were talking about, double texting? Like if you didn't hear back and you text them?
But what's wrong with that?
I mean,
not haven't heard. Don't text haven't heard.
Yeah,
like texting with the purpose, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with the purpose.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Bringing up another topic or
another
something.
topic. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Like,
Okay.
Not.
Yeah, not like I'm
You
talking to
there?
myself in your DMs, and then you haven't responded in 3 days, and I just keep saying shit.
Yeah, no, we ain't talking about you. Not those niggas.
Then I was going to say, okay, there is a problem.
No, it's just you're having a conversation with somebody, and then they stop texting. Okay, do you text them again?
Because you never know why somebody didn't text. Maybe they're at work, and maybe they couldn't text you, and you didn't want to say something else.
That was the thing with her. A lot, she wasn't getting. I had an Android at the time, and she wasn't getting my message. No, nigga.
I ain't never heard that before, but I get all of yours.
Immediately
cut that off. Stop that.
She wasn't getting my, but she would screenshot. She would show me like, you know, I know I didn't get like your message or whatever. So I know. Look, that's trust issues right there. That's just duh, nigga. Obviously, you could delete the message. You could prove your point out. Well, that's just going down a downward spiral of does she like me or not? You know what I'm saying?
I need a new phone. This one doesn't send messages.
But so I just
Hey, got an iPhone now.
Hey, come on, Team iPhone. So we should be good, right?
I want to hear that again.
You got my messages? Did you get it?
All right.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, man, my top ones for you are definitely My Place, Indecisive, I Don't Want to Love You, Grown, Double Text, and really now Maya. I didn't even know you dropped all of these. Like I think the last one I heard from you was Bellatrix, and I think the only reason I didn't add it was because it was like 6 minutes long. But it's like I re-listened to it on the way here. I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking fire. But I just re-listened to all of these on the way here. And once again, man, still dope stuff. So I wanted to talk about Broken because Broken, I guess, is your number one song. Like that's the one that's gotten like the most attention and whatnot. Like have you seen that in return? Like have you seen that do anything for you just as far as like growing your audience or anything?
Yeah, because 2020... Clubhouse, that's when it really like popped off, and that's when I had dropped that song, I think like a few months before that. So then I had something to really present, and I would play it, and people really liked it. So it put me in contact with a lot of people. There was like, I remember one time there was a room with a whole bunch of people in it, like just different writers and execs. It was during like the pandemic times when people would actually be in those rooms, and like I played it and it was just like dead silent, and then everyone was raving. I was like, wow, like I can really. It just gave me confidence that like I can stand out amongst people who are doing this like for like professionally. And then because I had people reach out to me who I still talk to this day. I had a person reach out to me who connected me with my friend Christiani, who's an actress, great actress, and we're working on her project now. And so I wouldn't have met her if it wasn't for the Clubhouse. I have a friend, Frederick, who met me there and then brought me out and got me some paid gigs in Atlanta and introduced me to some people I know now, like who we're still building with to like do great things with music. So that song, and it got me like, I had a publisher reach out to me from APG who just wanted to like, which is like just you guys know APG? Just yeah. So they reached out for because of that song because I was promoting it heavily.
Yeah, I can do it too. Yeah, I know him. See how he did it? I can do it too. Yeah,
it's just like they're a publishing company. They just like they have a lot of songwriters and producers on their yeah, I said I know. But I just had people like reach out a lot because of that song. Because that was one I put a lot of promotion into as well, into the video, and just had it come back. So definitely had that song. That song was kind of a turning point, I think, musically for me.
Well, yeah, because I mean, even just going by the numbers, like, you can kind of see the difference of, you know, I guess how many people have listened to Broken compared to like the other songs. So just very curious on if you've been able to see that return as far as like see those numbers. You see people are listening to it. Like, have you started to see, you know, an audience come or even a loyal audience?
Definitely. Even just from pushing FOMO Fridays last year and dropping all those songs, as people come in, or just people who are discovering it now, and they message me on Instagram, and there was one girl who just wrote this really long, heartfelt message, and it was very fulfilling because it was like she said like my music was for like different moods, and it's just like, when I don't like to be put in a box, and I like to put out songs like Bellatrix and then put out songs that are very R&B like Spin, and I don't want it to be like you're expecting what I'm gonna put out. I just want it to be good music. And that was really cool that this person, you try to do stuff and try to come off a certain way, but then someone identifies that and then says it back to you. Is very fulfilling.
It's very,
So it was really cool that she took that time and the music spoke to her that much that that's what she felt. If she felt what I was trying to do and then told me about it. So
why not an album? Why all of these singles?
The singles are so an album I feel would be like kind of that thing of if a tree drops in a forest, no one's around to hear it, did it really fall? So like I feel like I don't have enough fans to put out an album. I'm putting out a project. I'm working on a project, and that should be out like in the next few months with this producer from Australia. A really cool guy that I met a few years ago. We're doing a project with each other. So that'll be like a 4 or 5 thing, and it's a joint thing. But I'm not against putting out like 3 packs of things, but like a full album. I want to make sure that I have an audience to listen to it. Not that people aren't listening to my music, but for those people who are listening, I want to give them music and give them singles and give them music videos. It's just I want to like garner and do stuff.
You want it to be, I guess, bigger.
Yeah, I want it to be bigger. When I put out an album, I want people to really hear it, and I want to be able to do it like for real. And so I'm having fun putting out singles. The reason I did even all those songs last year is because I was doing a sales job that was taking so much of my time, and I just was like, all right, if I'm gonna do that, I'm going to go harder with music, harder than I was going before. I'm not gonna let it even make me regress even more so than I am. I'm going to go the opposite direction, and that's why I did that. And I want to keep doing that and just keep putting out music in videos, and then when it becomes bigger, I guess the demand becomes bigger for me to put out a bigger body of work, then I'll do that.
Noted, man.
I think that's a smart idea anyway. Good plan, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think either are smart because, like, I get the singles. Like, singles are definitely, especially this day and age, are definitely the wave. You know, they're easier to put out. They're easier to promote rather than promoting a big body of work. I guess I look at it as even when people do discover you later on down the line, like you still have, I guess, that body of work that people can go and look to, just how they're going to look at the singles. Like people are going to discover you from, Casa or Like It, and then they're going to go, down and listen to all of these songs. I feel like it can be done the same like with an album. Yeah. But I understand that an album is just bigger. It's looked at as a bigger fucking responsibility and project. So no, I completely get it. So then what holds the future for Duka? What is coming up next for you, man?
Coming up next, I have this project, like I said, with this producer. His name is Supreme. We've done a couple songs together.
How'd this happen?
He was so I have another friend, Jazz. She's part of a clothing brand called Wild Things with another homeboy named Jerron, and they were doing a pop-up for their clothing brand and wanted me and some of my friends to perform. And Jazz is also like a hooper, just a great basketball player, and she trains other basketball players. And so she would go to Australia to train basketball players, and there she's also, just because she's into fashion, she do a lot of different things. So she met Supreme, brought him, and he DJ'd that event. And we met him through that, and he put out a couple projects. He actually did a project with Jay Alston too, and he and I made a song together, and I'm just like, man, this song's really dope. We should make a whole project about this. So we've made like 4 songs already. I just have to finish the last song, and we feel really really optimistic about it, and we think it's going to be a really cool body of work. So should be coming out like in the next couple of months. I just have to put some finishing touches on the last piece of it. And then
is he in Australia right now?
He's in Australia right now, yeah. And then I'm working on a project now, writing with my friend Christiani. She's super dope. Like I said, she's an actress. She was the leading role in King Kong on Broadway for a while. Mm. And then she was on a movie called Resort to Love 2 years ago. It's on Netflix if you want to check that out. But she's stepping into the music realm, and so we started working on her project a couple years ago and started revisiting it. So I'm excited for that. She's about to release some of it, I think later on this year. But working on that with her right now. Working a lot. What I want to do is get a major placement this year too. So I've been working a lot with some of my producer and writer friends, just trying to
like in a film.
In a film, but mainly, I mean, the big goal would be to get like an artist, like a placement with a.
Oh, like writing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But
would you give any of these songs away?
No, not like it depends. So I don't mind writing for women. Like I'll give songs to women, but until I'm established, I don't really like giving songs that sound too much like me away to people, because I don't want it to be a thing where it comes out, it's like, oh, you sound like this kid. It's like, no, that's because you can't really recover from that, and we've seen that happen. True. So I don't want to give too much of my own sound away. If it's a woman singing it, it's a whole different vibe and words that I wouldn't really say, even though it kind of sounds like I wrote it. It's a different vibe, and I don't think people would place it too much and say it. But obviously, like I still write for other people, and I just don't necessarily write it completely like my style. Mm-hmm. Like I write it more, try to be universal. I'll throw little tidbits of me in there and just the way that I write. But when it's like just me, I wouldn't give any of those songs to anybody. No.
But after you've established yourself? Yeah,
after I've established myself, that's like the dream. I want people to hear a song, just like I hear a song and I'm like, oh, I bet Frank Ocean wrote that. I look it up and it's Frank Ocean or Ty Dolla $ign. Like I want people to be able to associate my style with me. I just don't want to give it away too early. But I absolutely, like once I've established myself as my own artist and singer-songwriter, and I want to write for everyone. My goal is to be in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. So that would come with like writing for a lot of people. That's what I want.
Jeez, man. Almost. I'm 95% fulfilled. I need help with. Damn. Okay, hold on. Think. Shit. Got all your fucking songs like playing at once. You didn't take. Fuck. You don't let another nigga take my place. I guess I had the wrong impression. You don't let another nigga take my side of the bed.
Gave you windows, but you chose to be a liar instead.
Gave you
windows.
Gave you windows. Okay. Yeah, man. I'd just be like, yeah,
Hey. I've been listening to songs a lot of my life and still don't know what they're talking about.
And you just be like,
yeah, that's part of the video. You just
be a liar instead. You come right back
That's
with
funny.
it. Hey, man, that was Duka. Man, please, y'all, please go listen to his music. Where can they follow you at?
You can follow me at Dukes McFly, DUKESMCFLY, Duka Music on YouTube. Dukes McFly for pretty much everything. Just follow me, DM me, whatever, I'll answer back. Go listen to the music.
Yes, hey, yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for this blind DM. Fucking Sarah, trying to count on her. Did she hit you up about me at all?
I don't think so.
Fucking ridiculous, bro. Like I said, hey, can you get me in contact with Duka? She's like, oh yeah, man, I got you, man.
She may
It's like-
have. I don't remember.
I was like, no. She said she hit you up to get in contact with me, and then like y'all hadn't talked in a minute, so y'all had talked like not about me, but for everything else for hours and shit. And I was like, she was like, oh well, let me do it in a couple weeks. Couple weeks now. Okay, now. That's when I DM'd you. I'm like, hey man, shit.
I'm not waiting. Hey, but
no,
hey,
man. I was
that's
like,
that double text
she was
mentality.
for real, yeah. Like, dead ass. I was like, oh, should I wait? No, I'm not fucking waiting, man. She was like, maybe we can get together at one of my poetry slams. I'm like, all right, look, Sarah, I'm gonna just reach out to the nigga. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna just bypass and hopefully he responds. So thank you for responding to the damn.
Of course. Thank you for reaching out. I
man.
appreciate it. This was fun too. You guys are
I'm
dope.
glad
guys.
you enjoyed
Man,
it, brother.
thanks,
Very much.
man. No, I appreciate your talent. Please keep putting out music, no matter how good it is. I'll eventually put it in the library and fucks with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this was Chemistry. I go by the name of Miles. Over there is
Marcel Williams.
We'll see you next time in the lab, baby.